Hey everybody, I'm Anthony,
I'm John.
and this is the Dynamic Review. Every Friday we bring you our picks, our top 3 picks, the comics that came out this week, and we give you a review, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, let's see what we think about, and then we rate them.
Yeah. First off, we just like to talk about some things that happened this week. If you noticed, the Dynamic Buzz episode didn't come out till yesterday, which really sucked. If you didn't know already, we're in school, and our school's internet
Sucks.
terrible, and it took over 48 hours to upload the video.
47.59 seconds.
I don't know why, but that's how it happened. We're supposed to get it fixed, so it's supposed to be faster. Blah blah blah. It's probably not. Another thing is because all these internet issues of trying to get all this stuff up, and this guy was sick this week.
Thanks to him, by the way.
We tried to do a Death of the Family recap episode, and it just went extremely bad. So we're going to try to work on maybe something, but right now it's not going to be up. So if you were waiting on Wednesday to get that episode, we are very sorry. So, yeah, with all these negatives, let's go with positives. What do we got this week?
Alright. Alright, well, if you guys remember our last review, we decided to have a common top pick of the week. Well, this week was a little bit kind of the same thing, except we had the same top 2 picks.
Top 2 picks, yep.
So we're each going to give you our individual top 3 pick, and then we'll give you our top 2 and 1 pick.
Yeah, first I'd like to say this is a huge week in comics. We read so many comics, so I'm just going to tell you what I read, and then when he talks, he's going to tell you what I read. So
what I read.
What? They know what I mean. This week I read Justice League of America, DC Presents 5, Nightwing, Red Hood and Outlaws, Deadpool, Nova, Superior Spider-Man, Avengers, and Saga. Crazy week. I tried to read Green Lanterns, but I just ran out of time because we had to film this, but I'll be reading that probably tonight.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's a lot of stuff to read. Only so much time to read them. Okay. Are you going to talk? Okay.
I, this week, read Green Lantern, Green Lantern Corps, Green Lantern New Guardian, Justice League of America, Vibe, Superior Spider-Man, Nightwing, and
DC Presents?
DC Presents. That's, I think that was it. Oh, and I got caught up on Earth 2. Even though that didn't come out this week, it was awesome. So, but anyway, we'll just give you our top 3 picks when we get this started. So, what was your number 3 pick this week?
Okay, my number 3 pick was Red Hood and the Outlaws, number 17. This is the After the Death of Family, and this is probably my After the Death of Family issue so far, because they had, I guess Batman and Robin was kind of, but not really, didn't really, it was just all their dreams. But Nightwing came out this week, and Nightwing was kind of lacking a little bit, but Red Hood and the Outlaws is pretty good. In Nightwing, actually, you see Damian helping out Dick, come back to reality, say, don't let the Joker get to us. Well, in this one, Jason helps Damian out, has a little talk with him. And what I've noticed in both of those issues, when they help each other out, it seems like they say one thing, and it's like, oh, okay, everything's normal now. Because, after that, it's like Arsenal and Damian, go at it, and they have this little fun thing. It's so funny, because Arsenal tries to play football with Damian, and he throws the football at Damian, and Damian just, gets out of the way of him. He's like, what am I supposed to do with this? It's kind of just showing that, he didn't really have a childhood. He doesn't know what a football is.
Yeah.
It's really, yeah, that whole thing was kind of really funny, Arsenal and Damian going back and forth. But what was really good about it is Jason and Bruce had, a heart-to-heart in the Batcave, which it was pretty good. I don't want to say what happened. You just have to read it for yourself. But it was really good, after all this happened. It's really good to see them talk like they did, but, at the end of this issue, something big happens to Jason, and definitely gonna check out the rest of the Red Hood and Outlaws after this because it's gonna be crazy. Yeah, but really, really good comic this week. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, my number 3 pick this week was Green Lantern New Guardians Part 3 of Wrath of the First Lantern. Now, this week, all Part 1, 2, and 3 of this new event, Wrath of the First Lantern, came out. And it was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. But this is the issue of the 3 that stood out to me the most. Basically, Kyle is face-to-face with the First Lantern, whose name is Volf, or it's like Voltvoom,
AKA God.
Yeah, I'm thinking he just acts like God. Not acts like God, but he has these powers where nothing affects him. Like you can't. Kyle is the new White Lantern, and with just one ring, he basically took out most of the Third Army, which no one else could beat. And then now here comes this new enemy, and he shoots it, and the guy kind of like brushes it aside as if it's like a flashlight. And he's like, "Come on!" He's like, at one point, he actually goes, "No, boy." And it's like, come on, can't we ever have a point where the enemies aren't godlike for the first 16 issues? But no, this issue I thought was really cool because the First Lantern, like goes into Kyle's mind pretty much and shows him different realities. And one was where, because before when Kyle Rayner was first introduced, he had a girlfriend named Alex, and at one point he leaves and Alex gets attacked by a villain known as Major Force. And Major Force basically takes her and shoves her into a freezer. Like, not a big freezer, like the freezer part of your refrigerator, the small part.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so he crams her body in there and, kills her, obviously. And then Kyle comes home, opens the freezer, and there she is. And he's held on to that and has been tortured by it since that happened. Well, in this, the First Lantern shows him a reality where that never happened. Where he kind of gives up. He gave up the Green Lantern ring, and she's alive. And I thought that was nice, and it showed him because the First Lantern is feeding off of his emotion, and it's feeding off of how he's feeling seeing her again, and being in a world where she exists. Then the First Lantern shows Kyle a reality where his dad never left, or no, his dad did leave, but Kyle went with him because when Kyle's younger, his dad leaves him and his mom. And in this, it was what if Kyle went with him, and they owned a garage together, and he saw that reality where he saw his dad in a new light, because he's hated his dad to this point, because he thought his dad was useless, and now he gets to see, like, his dad would have taught him a trade, and I liked it, it was really cool, and finally he showed him a reality where, it was, during the Sinestro Wars, Hal Jordan didn't come back, Kyle Rayner failed, and basically Sinestro wins. And that's kind of where that issue left. But I thought it was really cool. I enjoyed it. There's a couple more things that happen, and it's definitely worth reading, especially for this event. It's going to be huge.
Yeah.
And you have to buy, because they're really smart about this, you have to buy Green Lantern Corps, and then Green Lantern New Guardian, just to have an idea of what's going on.
Red Lanterns is involved with it, too.
Oh, they are?
Yep.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, that's really I don't like that. You have to buy all of them.
I do. I feel like this kind of gives me more for my dollar. I get to actually feel this entire story and how it's evolving. I like it. I think it's cool because they did this also with the War of the Green Lanterns. So that was my top 3, or my not top 3, my number 3 pick of the week.
I'd say you want to go in the picks that we have together.
Or do you want to do ratings? Yes, you want to do ratings?
Yeah.
We'll do quick ratings. All right, for your pick of the week, Red Hood and the Outlaws, number 17.
I just give it 3 and a 5. It wasn't an extraordinary story, but it was just decent. So 3 out of 5.
All right, Green Lantern New Guardians. I'll give it a 4 out of 5. All right. Number 2 pick of the week.
Justice League of America. We've both been looking forward to it for a really, really long time. And now it's here, and it just didn't disappoint.
No, it started out really cool. It started out with stuff that you're starting to question. You're excited to find out what's going to happen next issue. You almost wish it had a release pattern like Marvel does, where we get an issue, at least every other week or something. But no, this one started out cool. It basically started out with Amanda Waller and Colonel Steve Trevor discussing who was going to be on this team.
I really liked how they introduced all the characters. It was really awesome. I don't know. I thought it was a very good issue. just how they showed all the characters and how everything's gonna come together, and then what's gonna happen with these characters if the Justice League, is what everything's saying they are.
Yeah.
I guess. So, one cool thing is I like to see how all these characters, involved into, a team, because we see them in their own titles or other titles where that they're involved in. But I'm curious to see how they're going to be a team together, because they're kind of just a bunch of random people put together.
None of them have worked on teams before.
Yeah. So it should be interesting.
Yeah, the closest person to working on a team was Katana, and she was in Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was fun, and we can't elaborate too much on this issue because this is one that we don't want to spoil, and we definitely think you should pick up if you haven't already and read it. So we'll just skip right to the ratings. What would you give JLA issue number 1?
I'll give it a 4.5 out of 5. It was a good first issue. It gave me what I needed, and definitely going to check out the next issue.
I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. It was good, just wasn't that extra point that John got out of it.
Extra 5 points. Kind of. Yeah, whatever. Half a point. Yeah. I don't know.
Okay, well, next is our number 1 pick of the week, and I can't believe this happened because if you go through our archives, you'll see how I kind of bashed it. But our number 1 pick of the week was Vibe.
Justice League America's Vibe. Surprisingly, this is good. I don't know. Probably the lamest DC character ever is they're trying to make him one of the best, like most superior. This comic makes him look like he's one of the most powerful, heroes.
I wouldn't even say powerful. It's just that
he can control a lot of stuff.
He can do a lot, and you find out there's more to what happened 5 years ago.
Oh yeah, his origin story relates back to what happened to relates back to Justice League number 1, which is actually really really like that But yeah, it's kind of sad, but the origin story is really awesome to make him who he is today. So
I think it had a great origin story, great storyline altogether, great build up. The art was awesome. I even like the characters. I thought the characters were really cool.
You get an Easter egg in there too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's a character in there. If you guys flip through the pages, you'll find her.
If you haven't yet,
her or him.
Google Justice League Detroit. But seriously, it exists. Definitely look it up. Just Google it, and then it'll kind of have a little heads up for what you're going to see. But without giving away too much more...
Well, I like to say one thing. I don't like how they're kind of lying to Vibe and using them. I think that's going to backfire on them. They're lying to him about... They're like, was that really...
Yeah, well, let them read it.
Yeah.
But if you ignore what he just said, read it, let us know what you think about it, and then the last page. Last page awesome. Was... I didn't see coming. You didn't see coming, because I remember I looked over at just like, what the heck? But yeah, the last page is a huge shocker. I'm excited to see how it ties in with the rest of the DC universe, because I don't feel like it's just going to affect one title. It's going to affect everything.
Yeah.
So it's something I'm looking forward to.
Definitely trying to make Vibe cool.
Yeah. Vibe! And if you haven't, we'll add a little link to the DC Nation has a Vibe short. And it's all kinds of terrible. But you should definitely watch it. This is what Vibe used to be. This is what Vibe originally was. And then read this and tell me if you like... Which Vibe you like more?
Breakdancing Vibe?
Yeah, breakdancing, pre-reboot Vibe, or post-reboot Vibe that doesn't just breakdance.
I would like to see him bust a move in the next couple issues, though.
Get out of here.
Alright, so on to our ratings. Justice League of America's Vibe, I give it a 4 out of 5.
Justice League of America's Vibe, I'm giving it a 5 out of 5. I enjoyed the art, I enjoyed the story, I enjoyed the characters, and I'm really excited to where it's going. So yeah, it definitely deserved its 5 out of 5 for me.
Alright, yeah, so that wraps all our picks up for the week. Tell us in the comments what your favorite comics were. There's a lot of them, so there's going to be just a bunch of different opinions from everybody. So yeah, check us. Make sure you check us out Tuesday for another episode of Dynamic Buzz.
Definitely do that.
Like we always say, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and find us on MySpace.
Don't look for us on MySpace because we're not there.
Yeah.
It's not that cool yet. Or again.
That wraps everything up. Yeah, we're done.
Oh.